Hey, Mike with Nerd Problems Gaming here, and today's video will be covering another massive Nintendo Switch eShop sale and 10 more games worth buying, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first game on today's list is Steam Tactics. And so Steam Tactics is a tactical RPG where you pilot steampunk related airships in strategy-based aerial combat. And so you'll play as a squad captain for the King's Army, and throughout the game you'll face challenging tactical battles, and as you progress you can upgrade your ships, add different equipment and weapons to your army, and much more. The game also features multiple different difficulty settings in the game, and this is more than just making the enemies harder. The enemies will certainly be harder, but you'll also face off against different enemy types, and you'll need to implement different strategies if you hope to win, which adds another layer to the game. You'll also get better rewards depending on what difficulty level you beat each challenge on, which can further add to the replay value. If you're looking for a new tactical RPG with a steampunk aesthetic, this could be definitely worth checking out. Alright, the second game on today's list is Streets of Rage 4. Now this is the fourth installment in the long-running series, Streets of Rage, and it's definitely one of the best beat-em-ups on Switch. It features great hand-drawn graphics and fast-paced beat-em-up action. You'll be saving the city from various gangs and crime lords and fighting your way through waves and waves of enemies. It also has some light RPG mechanics to the game which make it extra addicting. There's multiple different characters you can play as, adding to the replay value. You can even play local and online co-op as well. So if you're looking for some fast-paced beat-em-up action, this is definitely one of the best beat-em-ups on the Switch right now, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, the next game on today's list is Slayin' 2. And so this is an arcade action game with some light RPG elements, and you'll play as different soldiers from a kingdom whose king has been kidnapped. And so you go on a quest to stop these evil forces from destroying the world and to rescue your king. And so again, it is more of an arcade style game, so there'll be many different enemies on the screen that you'll be able to slash at or charge at, or again, depending on what character type you choose, each character will have a little bit different play style to take out these enemies. And so you'll need to clear out so many different enemies before you face off against a boss enemy on each level, and then you'll really need to learn these different enemies' patterns if you hope to survive. You'll be able to jump back and forth between two different planes, which adds another unique element to the gameplay. The gameplay is also very fast paced, which keeps you on the edge of your seat, but it also adds in those RPG elements of progressively improving your characters, getting new weapons, and much more, which adds to the addictive nature of the game. If you're looking for a new arcade action game that adds in some RPG elements, this is definitely worth picking up. Alright, the next game on today's list is the XCOM 2 Collection. And so this includes the base XCOM 2 game, its expansion, plus 4 DLCs for the game as well. And if you're not familiar with the XCOM series, they're a tactical RPG strategy game, and in this game you'll play as a band of soldiers that's leading a resistance and rebellion against an alien invasion that has taken over the planet. And so you're one of humanity's last hopes to save the world, and you'll go on different tactical missions to take out these enemy threats. And so this game adds a new addition to the series, which is sort of a stealth mechanic. So prior to the battle getting started and engaging in combat, you're able to maneuver your heroes around the map to try and ambush enemies and to really set up different combos to give yourself the advantage before the battle starts. The combat is tactical based, but it also gets pretty fast paced and intense, as there's different countdown timers that are happening throughout the battles, which force you to make decisions quickly, which adds to the intensity. You'll have a lot of different options to upgrade your characters, increase their abilities, acquire new weapons, and much more. You even have an in-depth character creation system in this game as well. So if you're looking for a tactical strategy game that's a whole lot of fun, I definitely recommend it. The next game on today's list is the BioShock Collection. And so this is another collection of games. You actually get 3 games in this package. So you get BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2 Remastered, and the BioShock Infinite Complete Edition. And so each one of these games are fast-paced first-person shooters mixed with a survival horror element. And so in the first game, you'll play in a massive underwater city that's slowly become corrupt, and you'll need to navigate your way through many different puzzles and face off against challenging enemies. The second game takes place in this city as well, but after the events of the first game, but this time you're playing as one of the massive enemies, and so it gives you a different perspective, unleashing their abilities throughout the underwater city. The third game switches up the location, and now you're playing in a cloud-based city, but the intense, fast-paced first-person shooting action still remains at the forefront of the game. These are more focused around a single-player narrative and story-based adventure versus more modern-day multiplayer-style first-person shooters. But even though these games are a little bit older, they definitely hold up on the Switch and are a whole lot of fun. So if you're looking for some survival, horror-based, first-person shooter action, I definitely recommend this collection in this series of games. And it's on a massive discount right now, and it's definitely worth picking up. Alright, the next game on today's list is John Wick Hex. So if you're familiar with the John Wick series, they're action-packed movies filled with intense action and well-choreographed fight scenes, and this game takes place as a prequel to the first movie. And so this time around, you'll play as John Wick as he goes on a mission to rescue some of his friends, and it fits incredibly well within the John Wick universe. Now this is more of a tactical strategy combat game, but it has a unique timeline feature, which really makes the action a lot more fast-paced. Now it is sort of like an action game mixed with a tactical strategy game, but you can't go in just expecting to mow down every single enemy and taking all the hits and hope to survive. So you'll definitely need to manage your focus bar, which allows you to have abilities like reloading your guns, taking specific actions, and avoiding damage. It's a cool, unique take on the tactical strategy genre, and if you've enjoyed the John Wick movies and like tactical strategy games, I think this one is worth picking up as well. The next game on today's list is Ender Lilies. And so this is a Metroidvania style game, and you play as a young priestess who awakens to a world that has been overrun by chaos and corruption and has become cursed, and you go on a quest to unravel the mystery of why the world was cursed. So as I mentioned, it's an action platforming Metroidvania style game, and so you'll have that typical progression of finding new abilities which allow you to access new areas within the game. You have the ability to attack, dash, block, and parry enemy attacks. And as you progress, you'll be able to unlock new spirits from defeated enemies, which can augment your power, making you stronger. It has a cool art style and tight controls, and if you're looking for a new Metroidvania, this one is worth picking up. Alright, the next game on today's list is Razer Renaissance. This is another unique title that's a remake of a classic Super Nintendo game, and in this game you play as a Lord of Light who awakens after a long slumber to find that the world has descended into chaos and corruption. And so this is a unique combo of different genres, where part of the game is focused around action platforming, and the other part is more of a city builder similar to classics like SimCity. And so the game will switch back and forth between these two types of genres, and as you progress through the action platforming stages, you'll unlock new abilities and magic powers to make your character stronger, and you'll face off against challenging bosses as well. And then on the flip side, you'll switch to the city building type simulator, where you need to help the new civilizations grow and thrive, and in doing so, you'll unlock new powerful abilities to help your little angel helper that is fighting off demons and monsters that are trying to destroy this new civilization. So again, it's kind of a cool concept that melds two different genres that aren't usually paired together, and so if you want to play a revitalized classic from the Super Nintendo, I definitely recommend it. The next game on today's list is the House of the Dead remake. And so this game is a remake of the classic Sega arcade game, which is a rail shooter where you fight off hordes of zombies in this undead shooter. And so the general story of the game is that an evil doctor has been creating all kinds of monstrous creations hidden away in a mansion, and you go on a quest to stop this evil doctor, and in order to do so, you'll need to fight through hordes of zombies on this rail shooter. And so there's a bunch of different control schemes you can use. You can use the classic controller, a pro controller, even gyro controls, which is probably going to be the closest to the light gun shooter this game is based on. I'll say the controls aren't quite as intuitive and responsive as a typical light gun shooter, but there are a bunch of different sensitivity controls and options you can tweak to suit your playstyle. The game features local co-op as well, so you can blast through the different levels with a friend. It's not too terribly long, but there is also a horde mode, which allows you to replay through these levels with a lot more zombies on screen, which really ups the intensity. So if you'd like to relive this arcade classic on the Nintendo Switch, I definitely recommend it. Alright, the final game on today's list is Vernal Edge. And so this is a classic retro-inspired Metroidvania, and you play as a young heroine, Vernal, who who goes on a quest of revenge and to find her father. So as I mentioned, it's a retro-inspired Metroidvania, so it'll feature classic action platforming where you'll find new abilities that you can upgrade your character with and to reach new areas of the game. But one thing that's also cool is it has sort of a semi-open world feel that will jump into 32-bit style graphics, and you'll control your airship and fly around the map to different floating islands which unlock new areas of the game. And one thing that I think really makes this game stand out is its unique combat. And so you'll have your standard attacks and slashes and dashes, but it also features a unique ability where you can quickly dash across the screen and juggle enemies, keeping them afloat. And when you do this, it also has the option to heal your character. And so you'll be locked into arena combat areas for sections of the game where you need to defeat all the enemies on screen. And so you'll need to carefully manage what enemies you're attacking, blocking them, parrying them, dashing across the screen, and healing your character if you hope to survive. You can also stun enemies, leaving them defenseless, which adds another unique mechanic to the intense combat. And so if you're looking for a new Metroidvania with a unique combat-focused twist, this one could definitely be worth picking up as well. But again, that wraps up our list of 10 more games worth buying in this latest Nintendo Switch eShop sale. If you saw any games that you're going to pick up now that you know that they're on sale, let us know in the comments below. If you've played any of these games yet, let us know your opinions on them in the comments below as well. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. And if you like videos like this on video games, board games, and everything nerdy, check out one of our other videos here. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new nerd videos we put out, and to make sure you don't miss out on any future sale videos so you can take advantage of these great deals. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.